What is up, Mars citizens and rebel colonists? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode we are returning to Mars Century and Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Frozen Teardrop Volume 8. Last time Hiro fought against Disnu. They activated the perfect peace program to save the Saint Kingdom. Dr. J has a program that will keep PPP at bay for 50 years, passing the problem off to their children. This time we dive back into the Peacecraft files. Sabrina rules the Saint Kingdom while Katarina fights the rebels in her wyvern. However, an incident will bring Katarina back to the Saint Kingdom. So let's get into this. The novel begins with the retelling of Cinderella about sacrifice between two sisters. This story is passed down by the royal family of the Saint Kingdom. AC 146, April. In a time of political apathy, Hiroyui made his debut in the political realm, shaking up the status quo. As he started to outshine the Alliance, he became a beacon of hope for the rebel colonists. He received death threats, so Hiroyui and Sabrina Peacecraft went into hiding at Sankant Kushinada's compound. Remember, Sankant offered Sabrina refuge with his family in the past, so they are still close. We covered this during Volume 5. During this time, the rebels and the Alliance fought in the Baltic and North Seas, even though the Alliance has superior numbers. The rebels knew the airs and the seas better. They agreed upon a ceasefire on two conditions. It must be held in the Saint Kingdom, and it must be televised globally. Katarina Peacecraft has been piloting the Wyvern for the rebels. She makes her way to the Saint Kingdom. She hasn't seen Hiro in 6 months. Katarina is in love with him, knowing that Sabrina loves him too. She would be a better partner for him, she thinks. Remember, Sabrina is officially dead after the assassination and pretending to be Katarina. Meanwhile, the real Katarina has been a rogue shadow pilot of the Wyvern. When she lands, she meets with her sister, who arrives with Sankant and the Romerfeller Foundation member, Eric Shergold. The first thing Katarina asked is, where is Hiro? Sankant suggests that the two not be seen together in the future because Sabrina is officially dead. Katarina is cool with this as she thinks that her sister deserves the Peacecraft name more than her. Katarina needs to find a new name. AC 146, April 20th. Negotiations begin. Sabrina took on the Katarina name and became a leader during these meetings. The rebels don't admit defeat during these meetings and frame everything as a humanitarian act. All they want is to stop further bloodshed. The reality was that both sides couldn't afford to keep fighting. The last clause stated that the Saint Kingdom should pay reparations to the Alliance. This will run the Peacecraft family into poverty. She has no option but to give in. This would still be cheaper than fighting a war on their soil and involving civilians. Eric of the Romefeller Foundation says to sign, and they will take care of the reparations bill. She accepts all terms of the ceasefire. The war is over and the rebel forces disband, except for one. One rebel commander went rogue and began attacking a small town near the Sherwood Forest. This group called themselves Hydra. The Wyvern moved in, causing the Hydra team to flee. In Sherwood Forest is a small base of operations. Marticus Rex and some of the Robin Hood crew, along with Mike Howard and a technician named Dee Dee, are a part of their team. This is dubbed the Sherwood Resistance. AC 146, May. Sabrina meets with Eric, who paid for the Saint Kingdom reparations, but treated it as a loan. Eric says that this is more of an investment. Right now, the world wants war, and many nations are gone because of it. This allows the Saint Kingdom to survive through this war. However, at the expense of having someone else's hands in your nation's actions. After his talk with Sabrina, Eric talks to Sankant. He says, I'm so going to tap that one day. The Sherwood rebels get a new technician called Sorcy, French for witch. Ew, French words. She created new tanks that she called jack-o'-lanterns. Katarina tried to invite her out to drinks. That is when she took off her wig, revealing that she is a man. He says, I just like cross-dressing, stop hitting on me, and he walks away. This man happens to be Dr. S. It's Dr. S before he did all that space cocaine and lost his nose. The rebels have a party, an endless waltz, if you will. A lot of this writing is very cringe. AC 146, May 25th. Sabrina was always tomboyish in nature, and the pomposity of that princess life is starting to get to her. She says that she could never be the real Katarina. A masquerade awaits her as she drowns in self-loathing. However, she decides on the name Sis Merquise. Sis is the French pronunciation of 6, but to her, it actually is short for sister. The Saint Kingdom being the 5th kingdom on Earth, her name offers hope for something beyond the 5 kingdoms. Merquise comes from the Frankish word for margrave, which is a holy title above duke or count. She too dons the mask. Decades later, Miliardo takes on the name but changes it to Zex, German for 6. This is like the dice in Star Wars. I didn't need any of this backstory. The Wyvern launches with the new jack-o'-lanterns. The Alliance never intended to follow the ceasefire. The rebels use a tactic called Pat and Stone Soup Tactic, which involves creating a crisis out of something small. In this case, turning a small rescue mission into a full-scale invasion. The Alliance is sending out battle tanks and EMPs. The rebels will be overwhelmed. With them is Mike Howard, DD, and Sorcery under command of Marticus Rex. Also with them is a rookie gunner named Chick Pargan. Is she related to the butler? Marticus wants to express his love for Six, but she stops him and tells him to focus on the battle at hand. The new tank team is called the Pumpkin Corps. The enemy is divided into 3 forces: the main forces, the containment unit, and 2 strike forces. And between them and the Pumpkin Corps is Lake Lerna. Marticus wants to concentrate firepower, but many suggest that they spread out as their numbers are smaller. Marticus is seen as being very stubborn here, even though history writes him as a cunning tactician. In the midst of the battle, the Wyvern comes in to help. She is the distraction. Katarina is cheeky and refers to her tactics as figure-skating moves, while quoting composers. The anti-air turrets fire and miss. Sis Merquise is making the Alliance waste their ammo. While she spouts off hipster nonsense in her cockpit, the rebels concentrate all fire at the western lake shoreline. The Pumpkin Corps is helping out as well. They're able to overwhelm the Alliance and win the battle. Marticus wanted something dazzling, and he says he wanted a glamorous war. No one died on either side, and it was indeed glamorous. That was a lot of bombs for no deaths. Sis took a moment to allow herself to be Katarina. Hiroyui is at the Kushonada family estate hanging out with Sam, the real cat, not the AI cat. Hiro asks Sankant if he is providing funding to the Sherwood rebels. The Kushonada family is indeed helping. The Sherwood team can handle the Alliance on behalf of the supposedly peaceful nation. It is a Black Ops team of the sorts. He justifies his actions by quoting the philosopher Immanuel Kant and says that sacrificing the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. Hiro says that Sabrina is pessimistic about space, but optimistic about time, while Katarina is the opposite. Sankant tells him to focus on his own battles. Hiro thinks he finally knows what that is. Spoiler alert, it's terrorism. Hiro's nephew, Ein, will soon go on to marry Sankant's daughter, Angelina, who are the parents of Trace. Eric summons Sabrina once again. She is crying. Her parents have mere days to live. She is blunt and asks him to marry her. She needs help running the kingdom, and she needs his strength. Sabrina admits that she does not love him, but perhaps he could learn to love him over time. Whatever, this works for Eric. He kneels in front of her, doing a proper proposal. The two kiss. AC 147, Spring. It's been a year, and she is finally in love, but never expresses this to Eric. She is now queen as her parents passed on. The Sand Kingdom just thought this was a political marriage. Reparations were paid, but they still need money to rebuild. Eric's inheritance was forfeited after leaving the Sherwood family for the Peacecraft name, so he can't help. Because of this, the inheritance was passed on to a distant cousin named Bill Maxwell of the Maxwell Church. Remember, the colonies are about that socialist wealth distribution, so that money came and went fast. They're struggling, but they are united. In less than a year, they were able to rebuild relationships with the other kingdoms and grow their economy once again. There was finally peace. The Sherwood team was needed less and less. Sis Merquise takes off the mask and becomes Katarina once again, but she still wears glasses. She's in her Quattro phase. She would come and visit the St. Kingdom markets occasionally. Sabrina was 3 months pregnant. She tells Eric about the baby, but doesn't confess her love to him. There is a shuttle crash that destroyed the colony. Hiroyui and Kantz look out at the devastation. Kantz knows the Alliance will pin this on the colony. Hiro wants to purposely get arrested. If he does everything the right way and go through the proper channels, nothing will happen. He is going to get arrested to use this as an opportunity to bring the colonists' plight to the world. AC 147, November. Sabrina's daughter is born. She decides to name her after her sister Katarina, but it's technically her name because she's taken the Katarina name? Not confusing. At the same time, Katarina and Marticus make their way into space. The new Sherwood team is moving all operations into space. AI Sam is with Mike and the others. They plan on upgrading it for space use. The mechanics always treat Sam as part of the team. Sam seems to be jealous and territorial when it comes to Katarina. They originally wanted to reprogram it, but decided not to. The shuttle is blocked by a warship. It is the Sherwood, a space cruiser built by Mike Howard and DD. They tell them that they must leave immediately for the L1 colonies. She and Marticus are informed that the shuttle crash 6 months ago was labeled as an act of terrorism, and Hiro was arrested and to be executed. AI Sam found out all this intel. They launch a rescue operation and change course to the moon. AC 147, December 1st. They head to the Alliance's base at the Sea of Tranquility on the moon. This was designed by the Alliance to keep an eye on the L1 and L2 colonies. The terrorists arrested were Hiroyui, Jay Knoll, Henry Fia, and Wu Wanglong. Jay Knoll was arrested for creating remotely operated drones that are essentially upgraded wyverns and had them attack Alliance military bases. The Alliance was able to trace one of his drones and they integrated his tech into the military. They straight up stole it. Katarina once again became Sis Marquise and launched in the Wyvern. These new upgrades on the Wyvern would influence the Tall Geese. The prisoners were to be executed via firing squad. As they blindfold Hiro, he thinks of Katarina. No execution came. He is saved by Katarina. She says, no, 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 my name is Sis Merquise. They make their escape. Earlier, Sis created a diversion with her wyvern while an extraction team moves in. She eventually joins up to help. The Pumpkin Corps helps out. Jay says, hey, you're still using the wyvern fighter. Nice. Jay Knowles' drones that the Alliance stole attack the rebels as they try to make their escape. The wyvern has a new megaparticle cannon thanks to the help of sorcery, but it takes a while to fire, making the unit immobile. It leaves her vulnerable. Jay Knoll tells her to stop. He was able to regain control of his drone units. Jay likes what this team is doing here and wants to join the rebels. AC-147, December 24th. Sabrina finally tells Eric that she loves him. AC-148, March. Duke Sunkant married a noblewoman from Liechtenstein. Eric and Sunkant seem to be at different points in their life and are at odds. However, Sunkant's brother is the chivalrous one of the family. His name is Chilia. He refused a marriage with the Catalonia family and joined the military academy. Chilia will go on to support Trace and his specials. On March 30th, heading to Geneva, Eric and Sabrina's limo explodes. Eric died instantly protecting Sabrina, but Sabrina also died from her wounds later. The terrorists that killed them happened to be a part of the old Hydra team. The irony being here that rebels killed the Saint Kingdom leader. Baby Katarina is being watched by their housemaids and survived, but she is too young to take the throne. AC-148, April. The Sherwood team hears the news. Katarina has to return to the Saint Kingdom. They're going to be without their pilot. Henry Fia joined the ranks of the Sherwood team. He would later go on to be Professor H. Wu Wanglong was also recruited from Death Row. He becomes Master O. The engineers who would later build the Tallgeese have all come together. Katarina says goodbye to the engineers. She's going to take on the Katarina name once again, which means she has to fake being married to the late Eric. This matters because Saint Kingdom royalty can't get remarried, so she is essentially saying her farewells to Hiro. They are outside in their Astro suits. Hiro and Katarina do the Eyes on Me scene from Final Fantasy VIII. Ensign Septim and Ensign Riddleheart launch Zygon fighters to attack rebels and the Earth Sphere. These fighters are unmanned and essentially steal Jay Knowles' designs. The rebels only have 11 crafts. Jay turns his drones, the Apollon and the Heliopolis, into manned fighters. Chick Pagan pilots the Wyvern now. Their strategy is once again to distract with the Wyvern while Katarina makes her descent into Earth. Their mission was a success, and they head back to the Sherwood. Hiro and Mardicus become friends over being rejected by Katarina. AC-148, April 25th. Katarina cries when she lays eyes on baby Katarina. She will now be her mother. MC-0022, next winter. Relina takes off the glasses and says, never mind, I don't want Hiro to kill me anymore. We are now talking about psychopath Hiro, not politician Hiro. That is when Cyrene Wynn in Tallgeese Heaven comes in severely damaged. He says that the Lana Green forces are coming. It is the mobile fortress Babel. Duo can't forgive Zex for the death of the twins. He's referring to Stella. Took me a while to figure that one out. You expected me to remember a name that had 3 lines? And that will conclude Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Frozen Teardrop Volume 8. Stella was Katarine's friend who ended up being a clone used to harvest organs. She showed up in the last volume and Katarine thought she was dead this entire time. Katarina was always destined to rule the Saint Kingdom, even though she tried so hard to stay away. Next time we will begin Volume 9 of Frozen Teardrop. We will shift focus to Dorothy Catalonia. She believes that Relina should be assassinated as her being a martyr would be beneficial. And the team focuses their attention on the mobile fortress Babel. But that will do it for now, losers. Remember, Katarine and Katarina are 2 different people. So confusing. Peace.